right now. PvP. Hey, yeah. If a player wanna stop me, stepping on the mafia, whole team wanna hold me. Bring our next level for me. You're not a challenge, your skills just call me. When I pull up my RPG, split out 16s like a SMG. Yeah. Game boy, you can't test me. I'm one of you, don't impress me. Hey, I got you triggered. 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 I got you surrounded right now. My team versus your team. We got you cornered. We got you triggered. Them go on, them go on, them go on me. They say you and your team coming for me. Them go on, them go on, them go on me. Better fall back, I'm gonna bring me army. Got you one-on-one. PvP. Knock you out the game. You can't test me. Say right now, me are the MVP. I got you triggered. You can't test me. I got you triggered. I got you triggered. I got you triggered. I got you triggered. I got you triggered.
And just like that, the injury news just screwed up the slate. All right, well, this is going to be fun, TJ. So, thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for tuning in to this Daily Grind Fantasy live stream for the 6-game NBA slate. You guys just saw the injury news that just came in. Let's go ahead and break down this entire slate. We're off to a little bit of a late start. We do apologize for that. It is a 6-game slate, though, so this will be a very, very quick slate breakdown. Oh, okay. I thought something was going on there. All right. Let's go ahead and start with this New York Knicks game. Currently, Elfrid Payton is questionable now. He was expected to sit. Now Mitchell Robinson is out. So let's go ahead and start there, TJ. Assuming Elfrid Payton does not play. Now, him being upgraded to questionable does shake things up because that's usually not a good sign. That usually means that there's going to be some, he's probably going to end up playing. Now, there are some cash options here on this team, TJ. So let's go ahead and start by talking about them.
Yeah, so obviously the real only value that we've honestly had so far tonight, besides some of the cheaper Dallas plays with Porzingis getting ruled out, we're going to come from this Knicks game. And unfortunately, yeah, it looked like Peyton wasn't going to play early in the day. He was doubtful. Now he is questionable, which kind of sucks. But if he does sit, Matt, if we take off him and Mitchell Robinson off the floor, we're looking at a guy like Derrick Rose who gets a 1% usage bump since, becoming a New York Knick. At 4,600 projected at around 28 minutes would be a fantastic cash play. excuse me, 1.13 fantasy point per minute, 28.3% total usage. We would have him pegged for almost 32 DraftKings points. So I did love Derrick Rose before that Peyton news. And then Emmanuel Quickly, the rookie, also projected at 24 minutes in this spot. He gets almost a 1% usage bump, 1.08 fantasy points per minute, 28.7% total usage. So I was going to go to Emmanuel Quickly and Derrick Rose, who were going to be two of the highest owned guys on the slate. But now with that Peyton news, that obviously might shake some things up, Matt. So it's something we're going to need to monitor. It's a really good matchup, obviously, against Sacramento, a 225 over under, which is something higher than the Knicks are normally used to playing in.
Absolutely.
So, obviously loved Rose, obviously loved Quickly. But now I'm not sure, because if Peyton plays, that screws everything up.
I'll tell you what, TJ, I opened up the ownerships today after I got off my video, and I was stunned because there's a guy on the Knicks that is getting overlooked, and I thought he was cash viable because he came down the price tag. $9,100 for Julius Randle just screams cash viable against the Sacramento Kings, TJ. It's a 1-point spread, and the Knicks are projected to win this game, so it should be competitive. What am I missing here? Do you agree?
I don't know. Yeah, no, 100%. So, Matt, the one thing that we got to take into consideration here, and this is why I love this spot so much for the Knicks, is they're actually the slowest team in terms of pace of play this year in the NBA.
True.
But Sacramento is inside the top 10 in their defensive efficiency. They are currently last in the NBA. So I think this is a fantastic spot for the Knicks.
Game time decision. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So that's fine. If Noel is out, then that's pretty big. That would probably mean that Randall is forced to play the 5. So that's huge, obviously. Or Taj Gibson could potentially start and play some minutes at the 5. So something we need to keep an eye on. But yeah, I absolutely love Julius Randle in the spot against Sacramento. Obviously, man, I have numbers here with Mitchell and Peyton off the floor. We're looking at a guy that's a 1.38 fantasy points per minute, 27.6% total usage. We'd have him pegged for almost 50 DraftKings points. So, we now got to wait and see what's going on with Nerlens Noel. So the Knicks are a team we're going to have to monitor. And it's unfortunate because, that's where the value was. And yeah, I do love Randall. I think if you go there in cash, I'm not worried about
I don't hate that.
He's showing 16.5% ownership. Like I'm fine. With him
14.5 for me. I just feel like he's so under-owned. And like that being said, I think we can both agree here. This is our favorite GPP play by far. I mean, it has to be if he's going to stay this low owned. I do think the ownership's going to be a little bit higher than 14.5 and whatever percentage ownership you said. So that being said, I think he's cash viable. I think he's a great play. I don't know why people are overlooking him. Let's move on to some more chalk coming specifically from the Denver matchup. By the way, I just want to start out by saying, guys, there are 2 over-unders on the slate that are just crazy. A 238 here with Denver and Washington, and then also Milwaukee with the Pelicans. So if you guys are looking for cash fillers like we were just talking about, go into those matchups, look at the players on the Denver side, Milwaukee side. We're going to talk about the Denver side here first. TJ, all these injuries, not going to go over the list, but who stands out the most here that is starting for you here for the Denver Nuggets against the Washington Wizards?
Jokic,
absolutely.
10-4. Way too cheap. And Matt, I think that's why Randall isn't carrying the ownership that we're probably seeing, just because in terms of builds, I feel like a lot of builds tonight probably going to start with Jokic and Giannis. And then there isn't too much value, so I think it's pretty tough to also fit in Randall there and have a lineup that you feel secure about. But yeah, I obviously love Jokic in this week matchup against the Wizards bigs. Guy's going to play 37, 38 minutes if this game stays competitive. I understand Denver's at home, 7-point favorites, but the Wizards have been putting up more of a fight here in these last 6 games. They've won 5 of 6. Obviously, they're coming off a loss against the Clippers. But if they can stay competitive against Denver, who still, they still have a lot of guys out. We don't have Millsap. Gary Harris is still out. Dozier, and then JaMychal Green. And Matt, we're looking at a guy in Jokic who gets a 1.2% usage bump with those guys off the floor, 1.56 fantasy points per minute, and a 30.2% total usage. So Jokic is probably my favorite spend up here today at 10-4. I just really love the matchup, and obviously I love the over-under, and if this game stays competitive, I think he easily goes north of 60. Michael Porter's carrying some ownership as well. He's just a cheap option, especially with all these guys off the floor. I mean, I never know with his minutes, but at 6K, I do think he is viable, Matt. 1.6% usage bump, 0.88 fantasy points per minute. So doesn't necessarily pop on the sheet, but I think the ownership's going to be there. Yeah, I don't know if I'll go there, but again, I think it's going to be a guy that does carry ownership. Will Barton's also very cheap.
Will Barton's a great play, I think.
Yeah, I think he's in play for sure, especially in this matchup against the Wizards. Jamal Murray, 8,400, is still somebody that we're going to be obsessed with in terms of tournaments, not carrying the ownership again. 4.8% usage bump with all those guys off the floor, like I alluded to. 1.42 fantasy points per minute and a 30% total usage. We would have him pegged for 55 DraftKings points. So yeah, I'm going back to with Jamal Murray if that ownership stays below 5%. But in terms of cash, I think Jokic is my favorite play. And then Will Barton's cheap. I mean, Monty Morris is cheap. And then I think Michael Porter is also cash viable. But again, I'm not sure if I'll go there.
That's why I talk about cash fillers from these games, because we're looking for value, and these guys aren't necessarily value plays. I think the builds just going forward with the entirety of the NBA season, TJ, are going to be studs and duds kind of builds, because all these injuries are coming out throughout the year, given the COVID news, given the injuries, and all that good stuff. And it's creating so much value that we're used to it, where we've been adapting to it, hence the Knicks. And that's why everybody's frustrated since this Peyton news has come out, and there's no more value plays. So that's why I focus on this team for cash fillers. We're talking about Michael Porter Jr. here, 6K. We're talking about Barton at 5.1. Even Monty Morris, we didn't even talk about, 31 minutes, 4.8K in the pace-up spot. We love shooters in pace-up spots. I think that's another option. And yeah, of course, Jamal Murray. So love all those plays for cash fillers. Don't think you start your builds with them necessarily, though. Looking over at Milwaukee, we just got them talking about high over-unders. This is the highest over-under on the entire slate. Going against the Pelicans, TJ, Giannis. Nothing really needs to be said other than that. I mean, 11K, just been on fire, 26.5% ownership. The only hesitation I have, the blowout potential. TJ, what's your thoughts on the Giannis tonight?
Yeah, I mean, excuse me, Matt. Maxi Kleber available to play. Okay. I still think this game could be competitive against the Pelicans here.
Should.
So I'm not going to sit here and act like the Bucks are going to absolutely steamroll them. And I do think it is a really good matchup for Giannis. Again, Pelicans coming off a back-to-back, which could be big. And you know, could play a little bit into a factor here, Matt, going up against the Bucks. But I obviously love Giannis at 11K in this matchup against the Pelicans, the highest over-under that we do have on the slate. And I just alluded to it not too long ago that I think you're going to see a lot of common builds starting with both Giannis and Jokic if you can make it happen. Again, with the Knicks news now, it might be a little bit tougher. But yeah, no Drew Holiday on the floor. He's a 1.77 fantasy point per minute, 34% total usage. We even pegged for 62 DraftKings points. And if this game can stay competitive, Matt, I think he goes north of 65. He can probably even get you 70.
Yes, so
he had 66 DraftKings points against Minnesota in 29 minutes.
In 29 minutes. Yeah, I said that in my video this morning. I was like, that's insane.
Yeah, it's not the same defensive team, obviously, that the Pelicans are. They got Steven Adams. They have Zion. They have guys that can somewhat match Giannis in terms of like body size, but still, Giannis is Giannis. He's uncoverable.
Absolutely.
So yeah, just crazy.
And then any more value plays that you want to talk about from Milwaukee? We're talking about Middleton 8,200. We're talking about DiVincenzo at 5K. Like all these guys, they're showing not that high of ownership, but I feel like they're cash viable given the over/under. TJ, do you agree?
Yeah, I think you can go there. Again, it's really dependent on this New York Knicks news now.
Yeah.
I like DJ Augustine as a cheap play as long as he does start again. He has been starting. Good matchup against the Pelicans guards at 4,100 projected, 28 minutes, Matt. 1.7% usage bump with no Drew Holiday. 0.77 fantasy points per minute. He's actually a 5.4 value on the sheet. 22 DraftKings points is what I have him projected for, so I don't hate him. Dante DiVincenzo also shows really well at 5K in a fantastic matchup against the Pelicans. 2% usage bump with no Drew Holiday, 0.92 fantasy points per minute. We have him pegged for 28 DraftKings points. And again, that's a really cheap price tag for Dante.
Right.
Brolo looks pretty good at 4,300. So yeah, I think you can go to some of these guys as fillers. I think tonight it's going to be, do you want to go to Jokic? Do you want to go to Giannis? Or can you try and get both in your lineups?
Or even Randle, like I keep talking about.
Yeah,
I think he's
Randle,
so cash viable.
If you think Giannis and the Bucks are going to absolutely dominate and, you know, they're going to blow out the Pelicans, then yeah, maybe go Jokic and Randle.
Yeah, I think the direction of the slate's going to be dependent on this Knicks news. So let's just segue here, TJ, the GPPs while we wait for that news. Good thing about the Knicks game here, starts at 7:30, so we should get the news on stream. Should, keyword. If not, patreon.com/DGFantasy. We'll go over our favorite plays after that news. So let's segue over to GPP options. I want to stay in that same game here. Let's talk about Zion. Zion, 6.4% ownership, has just been balling. He's finally an emerging superstar now. The way he's been playing, 8.6K, got a drop in price tag, pace up spot for him. Brandon Ingram got a price got a price decrease, 7.9K. Sorry, the dogs are going ballistic right now. I think Paige just got home. Okay. Lonzo, 6.3K. We have Josh Hart at 5K. All these guys in pace up spots. TJ, do you like these guys for GPPs?
Yeah, for sure. And you left out Eric Bledsoe going up.
Eric Bledsoe's another one, absolutely.
So,
very cheap.
4,800. He's really cheap. So if you're into narratives, yeah, I definitely like the Pelicans in terms of tournaments, Matt. I don't know if I'll go there in cash for anybody, but
for sure,
just seeing Brandon Ingram sub 8K is weird.
It is, yeah.
he's been playing pretty well too. So I do like the Pelicans in terms of
Ownership very low.
tournaments. Yeah, the ownership's a little bit lower. And again, Eric Bledsoe, if you're in a narratives going up against his former team at 4,800, that's a very cheap price tag.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to go down to the next game that we were talking about earlier, Denver and Washington. Bradley Beal got a price decrease. Same thing with Russell Westbrook. I don't get it. They've been performing very, very well. 9.2K. We talked about Washington's success recently. Bradley Beal's very underpriced, 12.3% ownership. If they're going to keep it competitive, guess what? Bradley Beal's going to score 30-plus points in this matchup. Has to, right? Westbrook, same exact thing. He has to be effective in this matchup to stay competitive. Those are my favorite 2 GPP plays from this team, TJ. I mean, these ownerships, 12.3, 10.6. I feel like those are great GPP options. And then, of course, Bertans is technically questionable. So if he's ruled out, TJ, Avdija might be playing 25-plus minutes at 3.1K, so absolutely love him for value. GPP options, you like this team?
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Matt. I don't understand the Westbrook and Beal price tags at all. Like Russ at 9,500, he's gone 50-plus in, 7 of his last 8 games, 6 of his last 7 games. Like he's been playing fantastic on this little run that the Wizards have had, as is Beal. He's 50-plus in 4 of his last 6 games. So these 2 guys are the main components for this Washington Wizards team and the reason that they've been winning, obviously. So at 9,500 and 9,200, like Matt, I bet people are going to be Ross. Oh, my mom's calling me right now. Damn it. I wouldn't be surprised if these guys carry a little bit higher ownership than they're showing, especially in this matchup against Denver, because if they are going to stay competitive, it's going to be between those 2 guys. But I absolutely do love this team in terms of tournaments, especially if Bertans is out. Like you alluded to, Avdija, love it. Garrison Matthews would be an interesting play as well.
Right.
But yeah, my interest is 100% in Beal and Westbrook, and I will be right back.
Yep.
So give me 2 minutes.
All right, moving down the line, guys, I have some more GPP plays for you. For instance, this Brooklyn-Orlando game. This is another pace-up spot for Orlando. Orlando plays at a very low pace. Brooklyn, however, plays in one of the highest paces, 228.5 over-under. However, there's a bunch of guys here from this matchup that I do like. Vucevic does get a usage boost with these guys off the floor. Talking about Aaron Gordon and Cole Anthony. 54 projected points is what we have him at right now. A 5.4 point per dollar value. And also Evan Fournier averaging 1.1 fantasy points per minute in this matchup versus Brooklyn. So again, guys, if you're going for GPPs, I really do think you target these high over-unders. And I can't keep this up. There we go. Washington and Denver, New Orleans, Milwaukee, and then also Orlando from this Brooklyn matchup. I absolutely love for GPPs. Also the Knicks, but I think they will be chalky, assuming that Peyton does not play. So let's go ahead to questions now. We are running late on time, so let me get to the Discord while I wait for you guys to spam the chat with questions, and while we wait for TJ. And just like that, no questions in the Discord. So get past that, guys. I will go through the questions starting from the top, and then we will get to our cash core. Fading Patty Mills won me some money. Yes. Patty Mills did not exceed expectations yesterday, even though he's still averaging 1.1 fantasy points with those guys off the court. Remember that. He still didn't do bad, though. Faded Tatum and went Sabonis last minute. Okay. I think Tatum did very well last night. Porter or Ross or Barton? So that's a good question. I would probably lean Barton if I had to in terms of value, but if you're paying up, I mean, I think Porter's $900 more, so I like Porter in general. But in terms of value, I do like Barton for cash. Is Kleber a good play with Kristaps out? I don't think that's confirmed yet. Oh, he is confirmed out. Okay. So, yeah, he's going to need more GPP. All these guys from this Dallas-Philly game, it's going... I mean, the matchup itself isn't that high pace, 228.5. Compare that to the Denver-Washington and Milwaukee Pelicans game. It's just a complete difference. But, yeah, I don't mind him for GPPs. I don't think he's cash viable. Only projected 28 minutes, 4.2K. I have to see 30-plus minutes on Kleber for me to even get behind him just because he's a low fantasy point per minute player. Just GPPs for me. Giannis and Vucevic or Giannis and Embiid and GPP. So Embiid's actually a great GPP option. Don't mind him. But same thing with Vucevic. So I actually like Vucevic in this matchup a little bit more against DeAndre Jordan and Giannis. Cash core we will cover shortly. Avdija if Bertans doesn't play. Yeah, absolutely. I do love Avdija tonight if Bertans does not play. Harden, Monte Morris, Barton, Kleber. You guys love Kleber. Jokic, Forbes, Josh Richardson, Lonzo. That's very contrarian. I'd make sure that's a GPP only lineup. That's definitely not a cash viable lineup. But yeah, overall, the plays aren't bad. All right, let me scroll all the way to the bottom. Is Zeke a good value? Yeah, I don't mind Zeke. Let's actually take a look at him. I want to see his minutes. Zeke right now at 25 minutes, 3.2K. The only thing with him is he's not a good fantasy point per minute player. So unless he's playing like 25 plus minutes, I don't like him on any given night. This is a good matchup though for him. Yeah, I don't mind him for GPPs. Don't mind him for value. Hey, Matt, how about that narrative for Jason Richardson? Yeah, don't mind Jason Richardson tonight, especially with Porzingis out. Does get a slight boost. Just not a good fantasy point per minute player since he's been in Dallas. 5.7 point per dollar value right now. We only have him projected at 26.83 points. Like I said, in terms of the matchups across the board, I like the Milwaukee Pelicans game and also Denver-Washington game a lot more. TJ, you back?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, you can hear me now? Okay,
Yep.
I've been back for a minute, but I guess you couldn't hear me.
Yep, I just went to the questions. I covered Orlando while you were gone, and we got some questions about Dallas with Porzingis out.
Yeah.
Let me hear your thoughts on Dallas versus Philly. Do you think the ownership's going to creep up?
I do, yeah. I mean, Powell's there as an option at 3K, as price still hasn't come up. A little bit of an anomaly there, too. Going up against Memphis, he played 27 minutes, and then going up against the Celtics, they went to Boban instead of him. He only played 10 minutes. If I see him starting again, Matt, that is Dwight Powell at the 5. Like, I think you can go there. Willie Cauley-Stein also saw a decent amount of minutes, too. He played 24 against the Celtics, so they kind of just went away from Dwight Powell, even though he started both halves. So I'll be interested to see if his ownership comes up because, you know, he obviously is the minimum price at 3K. Maybe they start Willie Cauley-Stein tonight against Philly. I don't know, but they're going to need size, so they can't really go away from him going up against Embiid, or away from those bigs. I don't really know if Boban is a factor tonight, but we'll see. Boban could play some minutes. I mean, he played 13 against the Celtics, which was 3 more than Dwight Powell, went for 21 DraftKings points. So we'll have to wait and see how those minutes get dispersed here. Kleber is in too, so that's something to think about.
Yeah, we got questions on Kleber. Our chat loves Kleber tonight.
Yeah, I think there's some cheap Dallas option here. Again, I want to see who they do start. I would assume it's Powell. But if we see something different, then I think you go with that start. If we see Willie Cauley-Stein start, I think that's the guy that I'd want to go to tonight in cash.
About DFS at 34 minutes? He's just not efficient.
Yeah, I liked him a lot more last year. I feel like he was more aggressive.
He was, not last game, last year.
Yeah, he was just more assertive, especially fantasy point per minute wise.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily pop on the sheet with just Porzingis off the floor. He is a 0.66 fantasy point per minute with no Porzingis.
Yeah, that's brutal. He was like at 0.889, I remember. Last season. He was up there.
Yeah, it was like a 0.8-ish. He was really productive for them last year when they needed him. Bulk of those games without Porzingis, obviously. So I just haven't seen it this year. I think they have other guys that have been productive, like Jalen Brunson. They brought over Willie Cauley-Stein, who last year, but he's playing more this year. So yeah, I just don't think he needs to do as much. He's more of a defensive presence than he is an offensive threat.
Right. Yeah, for sure. I'll let you breathe, TJ. I'm sorry. I like threw you into the fire there.
It's my cough.
Yeah, TJ's been dying, guys. Pray for TJ. I actually pray for TJ because he's been on this coughing spree for a while now. I don't know what's wrong with him. Other than
I think I got the whoop.
What's up?
I think I got the whoop.
The whoop?
Whoop whoop. Yeah, the whoop and cough. Okay. I don't know though.
All right. Danny Green love ? Oh, we get to talk about Danny Green. No, not tonight. There's no injuries.
You want to play his? Okay.
Oh, actually, how cheap is he? No love. Please don't start Danny Green tonight unless you're playing big GPPs. Hardaway or Richardson? I like Hardaway. Hardaway's been more productive for them. His price tag has been coming down a lot more too, but I like Richardson as well for GPP. Morris, Rose, Murray, Brown, Zion, THJ. That's Horton, right? No. Who is THJ? I hate when you guys abbreviate it. Why? Come on. Jake, you did that last time. I like Hardaway more than THJ. Holmes, Joel Embiid, I'm assuming. You're messing with my head. Yeah, overall, I like the lineup. After all that. 5,500 for cash. 55 and under for cash. Okay, let's take a look. I think there's a lot of decent options. I think Denver is where I'm going to go. DiVincenzo's in there.
Yeah, Dante's
you said 5.5.
Josh Hart is decent.
Will Barton. Will Barton's going to be my favorite.
Tim Hardaway's there, right? Oh, 5.5 he said.
Yeah, we're under.
Okay. Yeah, it'd probably be Will Barton.
Yep, I like Will Barton.
I don't hate Seth Curry going up against the old squad.
That's true.
A little bit.
There's a lot of secret narratives tonight.
Yeah. Is James Johnson actually starting, Don? Are you lying to me?
Is he?
I don't know. I would like James Johnson if he does start.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was a question or a statement. Don Day said James Johnson's starting.
Austin Graham, Quickly, Richardson, Ross, Zeke, Holmes, Rose, Giannis, and Bean. I actually like that for GPPs. However, we don't know if Quickly is going to get a lot of minutes.
Do we have anything on Jeff Green
yet? Nothing on Jeff Green yet. Nope.
Because Bruce Brown, man.
Yeah, Bruce Brown's been killing it, huh?
Balled out last game.
Yeah.
DeAndre Jordan played 34 minutes too.
He's been balling out. Whoa, he scored 40 in 25 minutes. What kind of wizardry is this?
Yeah, he was super efficient.
Yeah. Wow. 11 and 13. That's a career game for him.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, going up the list here. Brunson, Bruce Brown, Morris, Campazzo, pick 2. I like Monty Morris, and I'll say Brunson. Brunson was playing about 28 to 33 minutes this past 2 contests without Porzingis, so I do like him in this matchup for GPP. I don't like Campazzo, and I think, well, again, going back to TJ's point, if Jeff Green is held out, then Bruce Brown does get a bump there. Small GPP, Brunson, Brown, Connaughton. Ooh, Connaughton's a new name. James Johnson, yes, if he starts. Jokic, Alonzo, Giannis, DeAndre Jordan. Okay, you like... Okay, I see. I would say a bigger GPP mark. I would get a little bit closer to the cash for that lineup. All right, TJ, I'm gonna go to the Discord. We have not been getting Discord questions. That's fine.
Well, we go in there.
Yeah, we go in there after, sure.
After, so.
On my
Johnny
lucky
said
glasses.
Peyton doubtful. Peyton is currently questionable now. He got upgraded.
Yep. Usually it's not good when it's upgrade like that.
If Peyton is out, Rose, Quickly, Justice Winslow, Porter, Jokic, Forbes, Giannis,
Winslow.
And Ball. If that's tournament, sure. People have been loving Justice Winslow since he's come back.
Yeah, well, listen to Winslow. He shot 3 for 14 his first game, then shot 1 for 10 in his last game. That's not what we want to see. Yeah, sure, he's rusty.
A little rusty.
We'll call it that.
He starts hitting some shots though.
Yeah,
he could definitely get some more run too, especially if the Clippers blow him out.
Played 26 minutes last game in a slightly competitive matchup. So,
Barton or Hart? Give me Barton tonight. What small forward would you guys choose under 4,800? I have Danny Green right now, legitimately. Okay.
Under what, 48?
Yeah, small forward. I'd probably go Bruce Brown if Jeff Green's out.
Tim Hardaway.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Tim Hardaway, no questions.
Yeah, I like
Josh Richardson.
Yeah, I was gonna say I might like Josh Richardson.
Yep.
One of those two guys, I think, are both in decent spots with no Porzingis. One of them will have a good game. The other one will just be average. I can tell you that.
Or trash. D Rose, if Peyton is out, DiVincenzo, Barton, Randall, Jokic, Brunson, Bagley, Josh Hart, or Seth Curry. So Josh Hart or Seth Curry. I'm gonna say, ooh, that's tough. I'm gonna say Josh Hart because of the pace, and I don't mind that. Yeah, I don't mind that for cash. I think that's more of a GPP lineup, but overall, I think that's a good cash. You can get away with cash. Holmes question mark from Dave.
Yeah, I don't hate Rashawn Holmes tonight, 5,700. I think I like Bagley a little more. But I think one of those guys could have a really strong game against the Knicks, especially with no Mitchell. And then if Nerlens Noel sits as well, then yeah, who are they going to put? Taj Gibson at center? So yeah, one of those guys. Which, if Taj Gibson ends up starting somehow, if Noel does sit, then give me Rashawn Holmes for sure, 5,700.
All right. Is Mo Wagner a good GPP play? Big GPP. Well, big GPP changes things. Let's take a look at him. Right now, he's projected at 17 minutes, 3.6K. He played 25 minutes and scored 37 DK points last game. Only if Bertans is out would I shift any interest to any of these value guys here for Washington. I will say that now. I love Westbrook and Beal, and maybe Avdija, but I love them a lot more if Bertans is out for the value plays. Okay, so I would probably avoid those guys until we hear if Bertans is out. Big tourney.
Yeah, but Matt, Avdija got 0.25 last game.
That means he'll do it again, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's how DFS works. Murray, Lonzo. You guys like Lonzo? Let me actually check Lonzo's price tag. I've gotten a lot of Lonzo. Yeah, I thought he was a bit higher. Yeah, 6.3. I don't mind it, I guess. Lonzo, Harden, Quickly, Barton, RJ Barrett, Randall, Kleber, Steven Adams. That's a big tournament. So here's the thing with that lineup. RJ Barrett and Randall are in the same lineups. or in the same lineup, I wouldn't play both of them because one of them probably won't have a ceiling game. One of the two will, since that is their offense, sadly. So pick one or the other. One or the other there. That's the only critique I have for that. Can I play Barton, Jokic, and Monty Morris in cash? Absolutely can. If Peyton is playing like Peyton, if Peyton is playing Dunn like Peyton, or any... I'm going to skip that question. Reword that.
He's saying if Peyton plays, do you like Peyton or any of the other Knicks guards?
He says playing right? Dunn.
I think he meant then.
Okay. No. See, now you're confused. Don't roast me. Okay. K-Mid or Kawhi Leonard? Don't know who K-Mid is.
Middleton.
Okay. What are you guys doing? Why are you guys doing that? What's K-Mid? I can't. Okay.
Whose man's is this?
K-Mid or Kawhi Leonard? I'll say...
I like K-Mid.
I mean, overall, it's got to be Kawhi Leonard. They're not the same price tag. I like K-Mid, I guess, more for value. SuperDraft. Good question. Let me go ahead and upload some SuperDraft projections real quick.
Best play for 6,600 util. Let's see what we got over here on the util side. 6,600. Halliburton's interesting there. I like Lonzo, honestly.
Halliburton's a monster, period.
I like Halliburton. I like Michael Porter just because the matchup. But I think Lonzo, honestly. That's probably be where I would go. I really don't like that range too much, to be honest with you. Holmes or DJ with no green? I think I'd go DJ with no green, but if Noel is out, then I want Richaun Holmes. Can I run Beal and Russ together in a big GPP? I wouldn't, Jason. I'd run one of the two.
Yes.
You guys need a few days off. The saltiness grows every day. Yeah, J3. That's the industry, baby. Appreciate the love from you every day, though.
Trust me, it's not coming from us.
Yeah. If Peyton is playing, do we like Peyton or any of the Knicks guards? Sorry for the type. No, you're good, Sir. I thought that's what you meant. Yeah, I mean, I would like Alfred Payton for sure if he's good. As long as that knee's okay and he actually plays a lot of minutes, then yeah. Thoughts on Corey Joseph? I mean, it doesn't really tickle my fancy. I know he's 3,900. His minutes have come down a little bit. So yeah, I'm kind of off him. They've been going primarily with Fox, Hallie, and Buddy Hield. So I'm good on Corey Joseph. If you want to take a chance at a tournament, go ahead, but I wouldn't.
All right. I got some SuperDraft projections for you guys. Jamal Murray still has a multiplier. 1.3 times. Love him. Jokic. Again, these are great matchups versus Washington. I think they're both great options. 1.2 times multiplier. James Harden has a multiplier. Just in general, I don't understand why James Harden should ever have a multiplier. 1.05 times multiplier without Kevin Durant. Russell Westbrook, we've already talked about, has a 1.3 times multiplier. What? Kyrie Irving, 1.25 times multiplier. Giannis does not, but in a fantastic matchup. Also like him, I will end with Kawhi Leonard having a 1.15 times multiplier. It looks like all the studs look great. And then you throw Jamal Murray in the mix, and that's a great slate tonight for SuperDraft. If you guys haven't signed up for SuperDraft, there's a link below for a 50% matchup to $500, which means it will just go into your account. The more you play, up to $500. It's just $500 free dollars if you guys play SuperDraft. It's a great deal.
Yeesh, it is.
All right.
It's a fantastic deal. Joe Val or Ingram? Give me Ingram. Bruce Brown, question mark. I'm only going to be interested in Bruce Brown if Jeff Green does sit. Westbrook or Beal GPP? I mean, flip a coin. I'd have exposure to both. I'd be overexposed on both, but I guess give me Westbrook. I like what he's been doing a little bit more there. For cash, are you choosing one of Brunson, Hardaway, or Richardson? I think you can go to one of those guys for sure. I think they're all going to carry some ownership there. I think I like J. Rich. But again, I think all those guys will have some slight ownership. I'm seeing Zubac 15.5 rebounds total Vegas line. Is that real? If it is, take the under. Because that's obviously a typo there for my guy Zub. So yeah, take that under. I don't even think he's eclipsed. He's had more than 15 rebounds once this year.
All right, I got some questions finally in the premium YouTube chat. We got A Top Shot question. I'm gonna go past that since this isn't a Top Shot stream. Feel free to ask that tomorrow's on stream. And GBP, can you play Embiid and Jokic, aka Fat Boy, in the same lineup? Absolutely can. Jokic or Grant or Gant? I don't know. I don't know. Shane, ask that question again. Thoughts on RJ Barrett? It's not English. Thoughts on RJ Barrett?
RJ Barrett's cheap.
Yeah, he is very cheap.
Are you asking me?
Yeah, I'm just asking in general. Wow, he is 5.5K. Yeah, I do like that. Projecting 30 minutes.
He's cheap.
Pace of spot.
He'll play minutes. A good matchup against Sacramento. I like him for tournaments.
That's all I got.
Okay. Yeah, let's see. We got a line. Porzingis out. Yes, thank you, Don. We got a lineup from Bill. We got Bledsoe, Beal, Richardson, Gibson, Vooch, Augustine, Bane, and Jokic. That's very different, Bill. I would not go Gibson unless Noel is out, obviously. I don't really have too much interest in Bane. I feel like all those cheap guards for Memphis are all just kind of getting some sort of minutes. He's only projected at 14. I bet he doesn't go north of 20 unless this game blows out. So I'm not too high on him, if I'm being honest with you. Irving tonight. Matt, you got any interest in Kyrie? Brooklyn?
Not really. I don't like the spot for both those guys, at least in terms of DraftKings pricing. I mean, it's a pace down spot versus Orlando. In terms of upside, which we always talk about, TJ, this Washington, Denver, Pelicans, Milwaukee game has so much more upside. I even think the Dallas Philly game has just as much upside as that game. So there's just so much upside on the slate that Brooklyn, for once, is not in one of those spots. So,
wow. Orlando has been in some pretty higher paced games recently. So I don't hate taking chances on Harden and Kyrie. I do kind of like Harden, honestly, but I think his ownership's going to fall to the wayside, obviously because of Giannis and Jokic on the slate. But I'm showing them some decent ownership right now, Matt.
Who? I'm sorry, which team?
Harden and Kyrie. I have Harden at 22% and Kyrie at 21%.
Bad. I feel like I feel like the other studs are just so much better, honestly, TJ.
Yeah. I mean, if Jeff Green's out, obviously with KD out, I think that just opens up a little bit more usage because Jeff Green's a guy that plays 34 minutes. So, or, 30-ish, I guess I would say. I wouldn't say 34. It's a little generous. Dylan Brooks game time decision change anything? Yeah, for sure. If Dylan Brooks is out, that does change some stuff. It does give value to some of those cheaper Memphis guards like I talked about, like Grayson Allen, like Bane. And then Ja Morant obviously would become a much more intriguing play, but they are going up against the Clippers. So
Shane earned back my respect for his chat or his question here. He goes, G-Ant standing for Giannis because he was trying the K mid thing. All right, I get it now. I got the joke. But you totally threw me off my game. So nice job, Shane. You threw me off. It worked.
Matt.
Yeah.
Real quick before we get off stream, because we got 210 guys, I'm gonna do a quick plug real quick.
Okay.
This is for my brother-in-law. Craig.
Okay.
Just started a recent YouTube channel called Power Realty Advisors.
Awesome.
One of the best real estate agents in Massachusetts. So if any of you guys are in the state of Massachusetts looking to buy or sell or rent, I'd love for you guys to go out and check out his YouTube. Again, that's Power Realty Advisors. He gives out some fantastic content. He likes to just educate, like I said, buyers, sellers, and renters alike, just on the market. And he's got a ton of informative videos out there. I'm going to go ahead and drop his YouTube channel.
Awesome.
In the chat right now, like I just did. So guys, if you could maybe go check out his videos. Again, please go sub if you could as well. He's a fantastic guy and he's got a lot of great things to say, especially when it comes to the buyer's market and real estate as a whole. So go give him a check out. And if any of you guys are in Massachusetts looking to buy a house, sell,
now's the time, by the way.
Reach out to him. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
If you don't live where you live, TJ, can you still subscribe to the channel?
Yes, you can 100% still subscribe to the channel. If you're in California, if you're in Mexico, if you're in Tennessee, if you're in Michigan, please just go ahead, drop him a sub. It would mean the world to me and to him. So yeah, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Yeah, and that's it. No more plugs. Craig, love you. I don't even know. He's probably not watching.
He's definitely not watching you, and he probably has no idea what's going on. His phone's blowing up right now.
No idea.
All right. Let's go ahead and end on the cash core, TJ. Give the people what they want right now. I know. New York is pending the injury news. But let's assume that Peyton is out for simplicity and go with the ownerships that we currently have. TJ, who are you locking in?
Okay, so if Peyton is out, Matt, if that's what we're going to go on, I obviously love Rose and I love Quickly for cheaper plays. And then honestly, I think you're going to have one, if not two, of Jokic and Giannis. And then I think Will Barton is going to be my other play at 5,100 in
I
this
don't mind
matchup
it.
against
Yeah.
Washington. Yeah, I think that's kind of where my head's at right now. Again, that's if Peyton is out. So if Peyton is in, guys, tonight might be a fantastic night to sign up for Patreon because we will continue to be monitoring that situation throughout the day.
We're gonna be forced to.
The night, rather. Excuse me. We're going to be forced to. So we'll be on our computers much later than 7 o'clock. So yeah. That's links below if that interests you. And yeah, Matt, I think that's where I'm at right now. So I'd go Rose Quickly, one or both of Jokic and Giannis. And then I think Will Barton would be my play at 51.
All right, TJ, I agree with everything you just said. I'm going to lock in Rose, Jokic Quickly. Then the last one's kind of up in the air for me. It is tough. I do like that Barton pick.
Okay.
TJ, I have to go with my guns. I have to go with my guns here. No, I have to go with my guns. I have to put Randle in my cash lineup tonight. I just have to. I'm going to make that work. I think Randle has such a high ceiling tonight. This is such a good matchup. It's a dream for him to be playing Sacramento tonight, right before the All-Star break. I think it's an absolute smash spot for him. So let's go ahead and get off, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And may the force be with you. I don't know why I'm saying that. That was corny.
What did you just say?
I don't know. For the Knicks news, I have no idea what's going on with them. So if you guys want to figure that out, head over to the Patreon Discord chat. I don't know. I'm drained. Let's go ahead and get off, TJ. Oh, you're in. By the way, there's a lot of people that are in the Boston area.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, guys, if anybody wants to reach out to me on Twitter,
Robotics up in Boston.
What? I can hook you guys up.
This guy's loaded. Robotics.
He's a beast. He's a beast.
All right, guys. With all that being
Jay
said, let's
Stans, hit me up if you need a plug or if you need.
I'll leave the chat open.
Okay. Love you guys. Good luck tonight. And let's cash.